Hi guys, my name is CorrectCP and welcome to my second tutorial. Today we are going to be talking about arrays. So let's start by opening ZeroBrain again and just open a random file. I'm actually going to use the file we used on the last class. You can make a new one. It's completely indifferent. I'm going to delete everything so it doesn't confuse us. So first of all, we need to understand what an array is. An array is like a storage of variables. You create this storage where you can have several variables in it. The way you create it, it's the same way you create any variable. You write local, you give it a name, I'm going to call it array, then you equal, and here's the difference. Instead of using brackets or a number, you're going to use curly brackets like this. So this is how you create an array, or table if you prefer calling it that. It's the same thing, array or table. So how do you use this? In an array, like in between these curly brackets, you can write as many variables as you want. So you can write, for example, the number 10, the string saying hi, and even a bool value. So the three type of values we saw on the last tutorial. So you just separate each variable with a comma, and like this we just stored three variables inside of this array. So now I'm going to show you on Excel exactly how this works. So I'm going to use the same. I'm going to use 10. I'm going to use hi. Hi. We're going to use true. Okay, so we have these three variables inside of the array. Each of them is in a different position. This one is in the first position, this one is in the second, and this one is in the third. You know this by looking at it. In other languages, usually you start counting from 0, so this should be position 0, this should be position 1, and this should be position 2. But in Lua, you start on position 1. So 1 is referring to 10, 2 is referring to high, and 3 is referring to true. Okay, so now how do you call one of these variables? It's actually very easy. I'm going to print so you can see on the output down here. You put the name of the array, so in this case literally array. If you try to print just the array, it's going to say table and gives the ID of the specific array. And now with squared brackets, this type of brackets that you can see here, you're going to locate which part of the array you want. So let's say we want the high, we're going to put second position, and now you're going to have on the output high. If we put the third position, it's going to say true. If we put the first position, it's going to say 10. And it works for this for every position. If you try a position that doesn't exist, it's just going to return nil, which means it didn't find anything. Okay, so this is how arrays work. Now I'm going to show you a few things that you can do with the array in Lua. The first thing is, how do I know how many things are inside of the array? The way to know this is by putting this sharp or hashtag or however you prefer calling it, and then typing the name of the array. So if we print this sharp array, it's going to print 3 because there's 3 variables inside of the array. If we add a new one, now it's going to say 4 because there's 4 variables inside of the array. Now another thing, what if I want to add a new variable into here without coming here and manually writing it down? There's a thing that helps us doing that. You can write table dot insert like this. You open and close not brackets, but you get it. You open and close this, and in here you write the name of the array, in this case array, you can call it whatever you want. You put a comma, then on the second place you write whatever you want to add here. So for example, I want to add the words fifth or whatever. Okay, so now if we print, remember, as I said on the last tutorial, it's read from top to bottom. You can print array, and now you write the fifth, which is gonna be after here, so here, and you can see on the output it says fifth. However, if I try to call the print before the insert, it's gonna say nil, because there's still nothing in the fifth index. So what this is doing, this is just coming here to the number 5, which is the last open space in the array. So that's what the table insert does. It goes to the last open space and adds whatever you want. So in this case, it's adding this, which is not correctly written, I think. Other thing we have, it's table.remove, which instead of adding something, it removes something. So you write array, the name of the array, and on the second part, you put the number. So for example, 3. And now this is going to be removing the words true. So now when I try to print number 3, it's going to show 4, because everything moved back. So what the table.remove did, it grabbed on this, and it deleted this, so the 4 number became the third thing. Other way of changing something on the array is directly writing array, square the brackets, and let's say I want to change the true, so the float parameter. So I'm going to do this equal something new, for example false. Now when I try to print the array, the third thing, it's going to be false instead of true. However, if I put it behind, it's going to say true. This is a different way of changing something within the array. So that's all for today. Now, and after this, I'll be showing you how if conditions work. If you have any questions, you can join the Discord in the description and just directly ask me. I recommend that you try to do stuff around this so you get used to this kind of stuff, or else it's going to get complicated. There's more stuff into the arrays, but for now let's only focus on this. Then I'm going to show you how to do different types of arrays. But that's all for today.